on. $100 worth of fringes in my shopping cart. Only buy from black businesses, got a chocolate heart. Some of these rappers' only interest is to top the chart. Every rhyme is self-centered, think they forgot the part about humility. Look how easy we mentally slipping into iniquity. This is the only remedy, a broken spirit and a humble heart. We need repentance, that's the other part. How many brothers willing to stick out their neck and leave prestige in the rear view? Lot of brothers with fringes ain't trying to hear you. Lot of sisters with skirts ain't coming near you. Do you think that you ready for all the shame? Thought you did everything right, you sought the kingdom with your whole heart. Fast and pray so hard, you get a gold star. Yeah, and plus the fire, acceptable men are tested when the rest of them get tired. Don't forget the best that living fine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit out. Hold on, just keep your eye on how much Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. Don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit out. Hold on, just keep your eye on how much Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. This is a message to the Malachayim. Seek the kingdom and its Zadokayim. Matthew 6:33, the master teacher left a lot behind him. Breadcrumbs that led me back to 21. Link Colossians 3:1, they asked me where I get these secrets from. My meditation 26:3, Isaiah, Matthew 6:6. My prayer, give us favor as we headed home. In the valley of the deadest bones, hold on. Apostate from that non-faith. So Sirach 32:24 is our faith. Psalms 5:9 is y'all faith. Your fear is proof, worship in spirit and truth, like John say. I got my grip tight, clutching on spiritual currency. The gift is not the lyric, it's knowing the currently. Walk in all of his ways, forsake the paths of unjust men. Yeah, now bring the chorus again. Don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit out. Hold on, just keep your eye on how Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on, don't forget that we've been set up as that living vine. Don't let the flesh deflect the spirit out. Hold on, just keep your eye on how Mashiach let them get inside and persevere until the end of time. Hold on. Hold on. That's a good question. You know, sometimes the Most High make us go through things, you know, so that he can test us and find out how reliable we are. Romans 5:3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience, experience, and experience, hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed upon our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. Amen.
Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Hey, man. I was more about the brother Jonathan, man. We had to play the same song again. You know what I'm saying? Because the brother need to make more music so I can play some more music. But that's neither here nor there, man. Shalom to the Otawanium, while Akim and the sisters watching. All right. That was Captain Jonathan once again with the lyrics, man. All praise.
All right, you gonna set us up with the announcements, Zach?
Con, I can do that for you real quick. Con. All right. Salaki, 1 second. I'll say something real quick while I pull that up for y'all.
Okay, con. Shalom, everybody. We are the Sons of Thunder Israelites. It is our heart's prayer and desire that all Israel might be saved. Hope you're having a good Monday today. Got another Milk Monday lesson for you guys, impromptu. You know, basically gonna be talking about your leaders today, right? A little bit going off of the Boule theme that we did a little bit while ago, but it's gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? So I got a book here that we're gonna be going into, and you know, we're gonna go from there. Go ahead, Drew.
All right, as you know, because the video that we play was supposed to play all the slides. I don't know what happened, so whatever. But if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you know we got our camp, our main camp in Atlanta, Georgia, 91 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia, Woodruff Park, 2 p.m. until come to camp. Same thing for us here in North Carolina, 208 North Davis Street, Greensboro, North Carolina, downtown, LaBeau Park, 2 p.m. until. We also got a camp in brother 1100 North New Jersey Avenue Southeast, 2 p.m. until. All right, so y'all brothers and sisters, come to camp. If you want to do the work out there in DC with the brother Ariah, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. All right, and they'll get you in touch with the captain, and most I will and get you in the prospect phase. Next go around. In Alabama, 122 Commerce Street, Montgomery, Alabama. If you want to come to camp, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. You'll be out there with the brothers, the Ottawa, Mayakaya, and the soldier Israel out there in Alabama. Same thing for Ohio. If you want to go to camp in Ohio, they have 2 camp spots, one in Columbus and one in Dayton. So to get in touch with the captain, Darat, out there in Ohio, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. All right. If you want to do the work with the Ottawa Quad in Fort Myers, Florida, or the surrounding areas, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. Right. You know, they'll get you in contact with the brother, and most high willing, you can get into the next prospect phase. All right. All right, if you want to do the work, I mean, if you want to come to the new moon, Salakia, if you want to come to the new moon, we got a new moon on January 31st at even here in North Carolina. All right, our first new moon celebration that we're going to be holding. All right, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites NC at gmail.com. Right, I don't know why Atlanta's ain't on there, but if you want to go to the new moon in Atlanta, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. And they'll get you in the building. All right, you want to get on Truth Tuesday. These are other shows. We got Truth Tuesday. Of course, you're on Monday with us right now. And then we got the Sons of Thunder Israelites conference call on Friday at 8:30. All right, that's the number and the access code. Get on the call, man. Get the class, get the edification, and get your questions answered at the end of the class. All right, we also got.
Hey, Judah, you going, bro? Is that just me? All right, you could.
Nah, he froze.
Okay. Judah, I don't know if you know you froze, but you froze, brother. All right, we're gonna see if Judah come back. Let me remove him so he know he froze. See if he come back. All right. Well, I don't know what other announcements he had to make other than that. Where he at? Sabbath Morning Brew. Yeah, so y'all be sure to, you know, attend the Sabbath Morning Brew class, and then of course come to camp, right? Every single Saturday. So yeah, we'll see if Judah come back. I don't know what's going on with his thing. It don't even look like he know he froze. So oh, here he is. He didn't came back. All right, brother.
I don't know what happened, man.
You still there? You see you.
I don't know. There's 2 of me on the screen.
Yeah, like I can see. I'm trying to remove the other one, but I can't. It's fine. It don't matter. I got you off the screen. They can't see it.
Okay,
but
come.
in the back chat, I still see you down there. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
Y'all can hear me.
Nah, you still freezing, bro. This ain't where you usually be at. Where you at right now?
I'm at the crib.
Where you usually go to in the crib when you do the videos?
In my other room.
You probably need to go back to that thing because this room ain't working.
I can't.
All right, we'll see what happens. We're gonna work with it.
I can't.
Did you have more to announce on that?
Oh nah, just Sabbath Morning Brew it's on Facebook. It's not on YouTube. So get on the Facebook. Make sure you look on Facebook.
Check your Wi-Fi because you're breaking up and everything. Like you're freezing right now. You're skipping and stuff. So, all right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started. How about y'all sharp rocket thought, everybody, right? But yeah, like I was telling y'all, I got a book I want to go into. We ain't gonna read nothing but like the first 7 pages of it. But before we get into the book, some other stuff I want to show y'all too, right? Main reason why we're talking about the leaders, right? We obviously have an election that's coming up again soon, right? And you know how they usually do in this election time, they start trying to socially condition everybody to think a certain way and stuff like that, right? And it's even gotten to the point where it's like Israel is being socially conditioned now, right? To the point where it used to be cool for Israelites to be against everybody, right? And just be for ourselves. Now it seems to be a trend where there's a group of Israelites that are specifically trying to cater to the feelings of everybody. You know, they want to let people be grafted in and spiritual Israel and all this type of stuff, right? That all has to do with social conditioning. So I want to start the class off with a definition. Let me get this right quick. Judith, your screen is tripping me out, brother. Every every 20 seconds, I can see you freeze. It's funny. You be doing something and then you just stop moving. All right. So it says social conditioning is the sociological process of training individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved by the society in general, right? So, for example, when it comes to your church, right? A lot of the people in your church, your pastors, right, the regular people in the church, they have this notion of forgiveness because that's socially what you've been taught to do, forgive, right? You get taught every February, which is coming up soon, right? They're going to be teaching your kids to forgive for slavery. In certain states, they're going to be teaching them slavery didn't even happen, that it was, you know, black folks working for lower wages and that they should forgive people for that because now they could work for the same wage that the other people getting, right? Or something close to it. So it's all about forgiveness, right? And it has something to do, it starts with this social conditioning, okay? So that being said, let's start with this one. Yeah, let's just play Akon, right? Since we speak about social conditioning and leaders, let's start with one in the music industry, right? Everybody likes music. Everybody used to like this nigga right here. So, let me see. Can everybody see that? All right, come on. I don't think it's any cuss words in here, so I think we should be straight. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I want y'all to hear what he says, right? All right. And while you watching this, I want y'all to think, in case anybody's ever seen this before, some of you guys might have, right? This is basically, well, not basically, this is literally Akon speaking about how Africans feel about, you know, slavery, right? And how Americans feel about slavery and the difference of the two, right? And I want y'all to see his notion of how we should just forget about it and stuff. And even though Akon is an African from Senegal, right? He could be an actual Hamite, you know what I'm saying? Don't really give a crap about our people. But the sentiment that he shares for the things that our people went through in that time period and how we should feel about it now is the same sentiment that our leaders have that are in our community, right? The Al Sharptons, the Roland Martins of the world, the, you know, and even going back to the W.B. Du Bois, whatever you want to say, right? The Frederick Douglasses, all these different types of people, right? The Dr. Akinyellas and the Ivan B. Sertimas and all that stuff, right? These people all had a certain Pan-Africanist type of feel to them, but then it was also a forgiveness aspect too, right? And when it comes to the Most High, and it's not your people that we're talking about, right? It's not really something that can go hand in hand. Forgiveness is supposed to be for our people, right? Not really for the enemies. Enemies are supposed to, you know, be punished for what they did, right? But our leaders are making it so that our people don't grow up or think with that intention, right? That they don't have that notion that you know, that there should be a big payback, if you want to call it that, right? Since we're speaking about the music industry, just thought I'd throw some James Brown out there, right? But so I want y'all to hear what this African's gonna say about slavery, and just as we go on, I want you guys to see how his sentiment literally matches the sentiment of leaders like you know, Maxine Waters and, you know, other people, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. How do Senegalese really feel about slavery and what happened? Because, you know, there were a lot of very foul people involved in the slave trade. There was, of course, Europeans, you know, Jews and whites were involved, but, you know, Africans were.
And I want that to be
involved in it as well. They were selling.
Y'all heard that, right? So this is DJ Vlad. This is a fake Jew, a Jewish man. telling you that white people were involved, Jews were involved, right? It's always the Jews. When we go on Clubhouse and stuff like that, they never like to say or admit that it was actually Jews that was involved in the slave trade. And here is a very prominent FBI Jew, on his YouTube channel, letting you know that they was involved in the slave trade, right? Speaking to an African who may very well be one of those Senegalese people that helped sell our people to those white people and those Jews that helped insure those ships. Go ahead, Al.
Hey, they say you got an echo. Did you click that joint when you?
Word. Yeah, I might have.
Y'all did me dirty last week. My joke, I went back and watched. It was echo everywhere.
Yeah, I sure did. All right, my bad. Let's go back. All right, let me rewind it for y'all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. How do Senegalese really feel about slavery and what happened? Because, there were a lot of very foul people involved in the slave trade. There was, of course, Europeans, Jews and whites were involved, but, Africans were involved in it as well. They were selling off their enemies, the enemy tribes and making their money and so on.
And he knows about them selling off the enemy tribes and stuff, right? So it's also crazy that, you go to African American studies classes and you take you read an African American studies book, or you go to any of these Pan-African niggas classes and stuff like that, right? They always making it seem like it was just the white people that was involved and Africans that were, being forced to do different things and have endeavors with the white man. Nah, DJ Vlad straight up telling you what the facts is, right? There were African tribes that were trying to sell off their enemy Africans, right? The enemy Africans weren't actually Africans, though they were Israelites, right? So they looked like Africans, but they weren't Africans. They were the enemy tribes in the area, which were the Israelite tribes that were scattered in the, Western African region since we moved there in 70 AD, right? So just wanted to put that out there, right? As we breaking this down, the white man knows the history too, and he's putting it out there for y'all. Just most of the people that saw this interview wouldn't be able to tie two and two together because they have the same sentiment and know the same, false notion of history that everybody else got when they was in school.
So forth. Like, how was slavery really looked at out there?
Well, in Senegal, we've kind of overcome the thought of slavery. We don't even think about it. The only time we think about it, honestly, is when we're doing tours at Good Island. Outside of that.
So he's saying they don't even think about it, right? Whereas our people have to think about it all day long because we're constantly around the slave master, right? So not to say that there's no Senegalese people that are Israelites, because there definitely are, right? But, there's also a lot of them that were involved in the slave trade when you go and do the history of it. A lot of the Moors that were selling our people come from the Senegal, come from the Ivory Coast and all those different type of areas, right?
People have lived and moved and way beyond the slavery concept and idea and mind state.
Right, because in Senegal,
the Akan people were a big part of the slave trade, and Akan is a part of the Akan people, which is where he gets his name from, right? So he could very well be one of those slave masters, reincarnated or something.
You actually know your history. You could trace your family back 100 generations, whatever else.
And he could trace his family back. He never lost his history, so he may very well be one of those people, right? But he's letting you know straight up, all the people in his land that have this same sentiment, that grew up the way he did, that aren't Israelites, most likely, you know what I'm saying? They don't think about slavery. They have no reason to think about slavery because most likely it wasn't even their people that were involved in it. They were the people selling us off, right? So they could reclaim their land. So, yeah, it's these type of things we got to think about, right? But the white man straight up telling you what it is, and here's this guy telling you that, his people don't think about it. Now, listen to what he's going to say in regards to how he feels about our people and, basically that we think about it too much.
You still have your names, your real names. You're not named Johnson,
and Jackson,
and Washington, and all the other slave owners that were the presidents who had slaves during that time, Jefferson, and so forth. Yeah, but you guys actually have your history, and that was the whole thing of walking around Senegal. People just felt, this was the first time I felt Black people just felt comfortable, and with no type of disease.
I think it's also the art of just letting the past go and moving towards the future. And I think in the U.S. they have.
So you see the sentiment now? Now here we go, getting to the forgiveness part, right? I think it's all about just letting the past go. Hey, Shalom, the Captain the Rock. But it's all about, letting the past go, right? That's what he says. So I want you guys to understand, this is the sentiment of all of your leaders, right? They all want you to let the past go. Why don't the Jewish man ever got to let the past go, right? Why don't the real Egyptians don't let the past go, right? The new Arab Egyptians don't let the past go.
Facts.
Esau ain't even let the past go when he had Egypt. He's still trying to let you know he ran that thing. Right? The Muslims ain't letting the past go. Anything that ever happened to them, right? Them folks that's mad about the death of Osama, they still mad. Right? Them people that's mad about what's his name, Soleimani or whatever, that died over there in Iran a couple years ago, they still mad about that, right? They ain't let the past go. Why do we have to let the past go when it comes to our atrocity that was done by the white man?
Hey, Salaki.
Every other nation don't got to do it, but we got to do it. Go ahead, Al.
Because we're supposed to be the poster children of what it means to be a good Christian. Me and my mother have this conversation all the time. We're supposed to be the poster child for what it means, or the example for what it means to be a good Christian. A good Christian is, letting every atrocity in the world happen to you and then just forgive and forget. We're supposed to do that. But like you said, America has never done it, nor has any other nation done it. But we're supposed to be the good Christian.
Look what the sister said. When was the Holocaust? Anybody know?
In the 1800s, early 1900s?
I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. Them damn Canary missions is watching me. But, so, International Holocaust Day, right? This is a thing that they remember. Why they ain't been told to forget it? Why ain't nobody telling the fake Jews to forget it, but the real Jews got to forget everything that happened to them, right? Isn't that complete hypocrisy? But this is a so-called, they would want you to think he's our people. I'm not going to say he's not, right? We shouldn't call him man unclean. I ain't going to say he's not our folks. He could be our people, right? And it makes sense that he would be our people because now he's telling our people the same thing that our people in the Americas are doing, right? To forgive the damn white man. But I'm going to let him continue. He ain't done yet.
This stigma of just not letting go of the past and blaming the past on every mishap or, disappointment.
Right? So he said we blame the past on every mishap and disappointment, right? What the hell? Hold on. There we go. All right. He said we blame the past on basically like every mishap and disappointment that we have, we blame the past, right? So when George Floyd dies, we blame the slavery. Are we not supposed to do that? Is it not the slave master's mentality that allowed that man to die with a white man's damn knee on his neck, right? When Breonna Taylor gets killed and her boyfriend gets put in jail after defending his home for killing for shooting a cop, didn't even kill him, right? People start chanting slavery and stuff like that. They start chanting racism and stuff, right? Apparently Africans don't like when we do that though. He's giving you the sentiment of that, right? He's telling you how they feel about when we do those type of things. They don't like that we blame slavery and our condition from the white man on the things that have happened to us, right? The fact that we don't have a head start, the fact that we don't get the loans that we want, the fact that we don't get the mortgages, the mortgage rates that we want, all that type of stuff, right? The fact that they redline and gentrification, all that different stuff. We're not supposed to blame the white man and the conditions that they put us in on that. Our lack of education and all that type of stuff that we get as opposed to what they get in the areas they live in. We ain't supposed to blame none of that on the white man. That's what Akon's saying, right? Every single misfortune and mishap we shouldn't blame on our past. We should just let the past go, right? These are your leaders, right?
I think as long as you hold on to that past, it's just a lot of weight.
Because you got to think, this is a man who's in the music industry. I personally know the brother. I almost got signed by his label, by his little brother, right? Long story. But he's a man in Atlanta, at least predominantly, that has a lot of pull here. A lot of your big rappers in Atlanta, from Future to even old school people like, Jermaine Dupri and, T.I. All these people look up to Akon and get in, they get his advice for business ventures and all this type of stuff. You don't think they're talking about stuff like this? You don't think Akon's in their ear telling them, hey, forget what the white man did. You know what I'm saying? Do business with him, right? Let the past go. Don't blame every mishap and misfortune that you have on that. Be a man. Take responsibility for your own actions. Stop blaming the past on what happened. Because that's what he's saying, right? I'm telling you, that's what happens. Because that's the type of pull he has. That's the type of man he is, right? He's just one guy.
But you carry with you everywhere you go. And it's hard to move forward and move fast when you got to, weight on your back. Right? You just got to let it go.
There's also been no reparations.
So he said it's hard to move fast when you got a weight on your back, you gotta let it go. And then here's DJ Vlad, right? He's very controversial. Now he throws out, but you know why they won't let it go. They ain't getting the reparations. And watch what he says about reparations.
There's been,
Yeah, but unfortunately, man, like, it's not like America is going to take the initiative to do it. I mean,
but then you also got to think it's not like every single black person in America is going to get the opportunity that you got, though, Akon. Right? You came from Africa. You got to get a visa when you got a job here. People know your story. You got locked up and got a job. Our brothers get locked up. They don't get that. Right? They struggle when they get out of jail. They don't get a record deal. Get to make a song. I got locked up. It won't let me. You see? That don't happen to brothers in America. That happen to African niggas. Right? Y'all get to come from overseas and make a whole business. Buy a gas station or something. We get locked up. We got to go work at the damn garbage dump. We standing at the damn on the street holding a stop sign, flipping it from slow to stop. You know what I'm saying? That's what brothers is doing when they get out of jail. You understand me? But because of the position he's in, it's easy for him to say, hey, America's not going to give you reparations. Whereas our people that are not in this position, they want to fight for reparations because they see they don't have a head start. They don't have no way out of the position that they're in. Best reparations they have in a lot of their areas is to sell drugs, right? Akon never knew that life, though. He just rapped about it. That was Wyclef and them that was involved in that job. Akon wasn't. You feel me? So that's the stuff you got to think about. And I know because I spoke to him.
Otherwise, they would have did it already. Indians got reparations.
That's not true. You see? Indians didn't get reparations. And then they speak shit that they don't know about. White $5 Indians got reparations. And their reparations was casinos that only their family has access to. The tribes that those casinos, the reservations that those casinos are on, the people that are part of that tribe that live on that reservation don't have access to that casino. It's for the travelers that go through. The white folks, I want to go spending money there. Ain't no natives in there unless they bouncers or they work in the tables or something. You feel me? Wasn't no reparations. But see, niggas like that, they'll talk. And then when other niggas hear that, they start to think, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is. So these are the things that we got to think about, right? I'm going to go ahead and drop his.
Hey, Salaki,
real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Y'all chime in while I bring this other one up.
I just got a quick question. Because before I assume what you're saying, I want to know what you mean. What you mean by the victimization mentality? Are you saying like when you saying we're forgetting? I mean, by remembering what's been going on and talking about it and teaching, is that the victimization mentality?
Here, post it so everybody know what you're talking about. Because
my bad. Okay. Or are you saying people always blaming our country and just never trying to do anything else? Is that the victimization mentality? Because I'm all for history, remembering our history so we don't make the same mistakes and know who our enemy is. That's not being a victim. But if you're wallowing in pity and then saying you can never get onto another level because of what's happened, that's being the victim. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't what we're saying, though. And that's not even what happens, right? That's what I'm saying that people like Akon would say, right? To stop us from even getting into the mindset of blaming the white man for anything. They don't want us to blame him for anything because they want us to forgive. That was the first thing he said, right? It'd be better to just let the past go because you can't move forward with a weight on your back. That was the whole gist of what he was saying. Everything else he said was just BS. It was fluff to go with what his main point was. His main point was forgive the crackers because you can't move on without it. You can't make the money you want to make if you got that weight on your back. It was all monetary. His message was for monetary gain. You want reparations? Stop hating these niggas. Stop blaming them for everything and they'll pay you. That's what he was saying. He was telling you to be a coon. And you didn't even realize it. You talking about victimization mentality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't have victimization mentality. You know why? Because we're actually victims. How about that? You can't have victimization mentality when you're actually the victim. Right? To have a victimization mentality means you're trying to make yourself the victim all the time. No, we were the victim. We didn't put ourselves in slavery.
And Salaki.
We didn't stop ourselves from being put in a position. We didn't have a Black Wall Street and burn it down ourselves. We didn't have a Lake Lanier in Georgia burn it down. We didn't have the Central Park in New York and burn it down. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? That was our reparations that we built for ourselves. They took that from us. And our brothers like Akon is telling us, to shut up. Niggas like JH1 is talking about victimization mentality. That ain't what this is. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I want to say something because I don't know if that's what he meant. I don't know, but I went to your last point, JH1. You said the Bible is my freedom, right? But the Bible also says, remember the days of old. It does say that. So we can't just not talk about it no more. And I don't know if that's where you were going with it, but to Akon's point.
Hey, and it says this. Give me Proverbs 11:21, because this was Akon's point, right? Join hand in hand with the white man and you'll be good, because you can't move forward without that weight on your back. But the Bible, which is your freedom, which shall set you free, says be free while knowing that the wicked will not go unpunished. And any of you niggas found among them going to be thrust through, right? Give me Proverbs 11:21. That was like 2 scriptures I put in one, but that's what it's telling you. That's what the book's saying. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, right.
Khan, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
You see that? So it doesn't matter. Okay, Khan. All right. Salaki then. Yeah, but we don't want no, like, you know, nobody thinking that we're victims. And that's what Akon is going to have us thinking, right? People like Akon want you to think that if you blame the white man for anything, you're a victim, right? Niggas like Akon don't need to be leaders in our community, because they put us in a situation where now we got to what? We got to blame ourselves for the position that we in. We're not doing enough work. That's what they want us to think, right?
Yeah, that's basically what you're doing if you can no longer blame the white man. You have to take responsibility but everything that you're going through now, even though some of the things that we're going through is a direct reflection of slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, all you redlining, everything that was put in place to keep us down. Feel me?
Right.
Go ahead, Derod. You had something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Derod. I'll wait till you finish.
Khan, and also in the scriptures, right? We got Amos chapter 1 and verse 11, which teaches the Israelites that the so-called white man has a perpetual hatred for your people. I'm gonna bring it out real fast. This is Amos chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishments thereof." So now we hear the Most High is not going to forgive the so-called white man. So why should his children do that? Right? I'm gonna continue. It says, "But he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. His anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever." Right? What does that word perpetually mean? Can somebody drop that in the chat? Is it possible for me to share my screen?
I don't know. Is it
possible
for you to
real quick? I'm gonna have to pull it up for you.
You might have to share it. Somebody else got to pull it up. I don't know.
Let me see.
I don't know how that works if you're in the admin. I don't know. But yeah, he already posted for you.
It's up there.
I mean, a brother posted what the definition means: without ceasing, continually, forever. I mean, you said
exactly. That's exactly what that word means.
There you go, bro.
It says in a way that never ends. So the white man has a hatred for you that never ends. That's constant. So that means he's going to continue to do exactly what David said he'll do.
Hey, question of the rock.
Good people. What's that, Adawan?
With that being said, would it be unfair if we say that since they gonna forever hate us, isn't it fair to forever hate them too?
God, hey.
I mean, if we trying to be like the Most High, didn't the Most High say he hate them forever? Ain't they the nation he's gonna have indignation towards forever? Like it says in Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Huh?
Hey,
if the Most High can hate them forever, why the hell can't we do it? Why we gotta forgive and let it be water off our backs, as they say.
Right.
No sweat.
Hey, the scriptures say it's a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to those that trouble you. That means it's right.
I was about to bring that up.
Hey, man, it's playing upon the table.
I wouldn't even think about that one. Good precept.
Yeah, it's righteous.
I was about to ask, can I bring that out? That's the spirit.
Hey, we done with the devil.
Mariah watching somebody comments hard. Y'all must pissed. What's going on, Ak?
Nah, the first comment I was looking at, because the brother put "to this day." So I was thinking about the boxer, but then the brother was making the point. Yahweh Ashar. I was reading his comment.
All right. So look, I just want to bring this I'm gonna show y'all this one more time. Social conditioning, right? Because when Akon gets up there and says stuff like that, if Roland Martin gets on TV and tells us to forgive the white man, if Al Sharpton goes on damn Martin Luther King Day and tells us forgive the white man, and MLK's kids is there too, telling us we're a little bit closer to the dream that Martin had, right? And all this little stuff is happening. They putting it on CNN News, MTV News, the damn country music television channel, TNT network, damn ABC, all of that stuff, right? Because it's social conditioning. They want everybody to see what's going on, so everybody feels the same way, right? So look, social conditioning is the sociological process of training individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved by the society in general and peer groups within the society. So it has to be a way that, certain Israelite groups are going to be able to respect everybody. It's going to make the Black Panthers respect everybody. The Fruits of Islam and the Real Nation of Islam going to respect everybody. The Nawapians might respect everybody. The RBG, RGB, whatever they call the red, black, and green niggas, right? They going to be respecting everybody. The Christians too, and the Muslims and the, Pentecostal people, the atheists, the faggots, everybody, right? They want it to be a social conditioning that makes whatever it is that they're trying to train everyone on socially, it's got to be acceptable to everyone, right? So what's something that can be acceptable to everyone?
Salaki.
Go ahead,
I'm glad you went into that because Araya just talked about, he was reading a brother comment. Can we please deal with that? It's going to lead into your social conditioning that you're talking about. Thank you. Okay, I'm bringing it up. It says...
My lesson ain't long. Y'all can talk about what y'all want to talk about.
It says, can't blame the white man for everything. We have brothers in the truth talking to other brothers' wives behind their back, teaching them. I thought the husband was supposed to be the teacher of that union. Khan, you are correct, right? The husband is supposed to be the teacher. And if you don't have permission to teach another man's wife, you're going off. However, we can read the Willie Lynch letter and see why men don't have boundaries with other men's wives.
Hey,
we learned that from.
We ain't gotta get that. It's in this book. This book, brother. This book is called Ensuring Inequality: The Structural Transformation of the African American Family. It's gonna tell you why niggas don't have no respect, why they feel like they could steal your girl, talk to her, and all that type of shit, right? But that's not what I'm talking about when I said don't blame the white man, right? That's something you can't blame the white man for in that specific situation. You got to blame that brother for his lack of moral code and stuff like that, right? But what you can blame the white man for is the fact that brothers don't have in general. And is why they have a lack of moral code, because a lot of us was put in a situation where we don't have fathers in our households to be able to teach us that, right? And there was a social condition called welfare that made the man have to lead a household, which the white man is responsible for. So there are things that we can blame the white man for that lead into that, but that specific situation you can't blame the white man for, if that makes sense. Did that make sense?
That definitely made sense. And we got to understand that in slavery, you had brothers who were forced to lay with other brothers' wives to make more slaves.
That's in the book.
This is social conditioning. So you got brothers coming out of the world into the truth, and they might not be able to get their mind right. Everything goes back to the curse of Deuteronomy 28.
Hey, man, since you're reading this, hey, bro. Since you're talking about it, I'm gonna just read this part of the book right now. Okay.
Cool, go ahead.
This is from chapter 1. It's the first damn chapter, brother Yahweh the Ashar, right? This is the first chapter of the book. Once again, it's called Ensuring Inequality: The Structural Transformation of the African American Family. My first year African American Studies at Georgia State, I had to read this book and do a damn dissertation on it, right? It's by Donna L. Franklin and Angela D. James. It's a whole lot of Israelite stuff in these books. The slaves that they have Israelite names and all of that stuff. That's why I bought it, because it was around the time when niggas was trying to say, well, no Israelites that got off the slave ships and all that type of stuff. But in this book, they got Israelite names. How did you know? But anyway, so it says Eliza Grayson, Israelite name, Eliza, right? It says was a former Mississippi slave whose husband had died while fighting in the Union Army. In 1893, she applied to federal government for a widow's pension. A portion of the interview with Julius Lemkowitz, right? What that last name sound like to you? Lemkowitz, huh? It's German, most likely Jewish man, right? conducted with her in the pension office as it follows. So this was an interview done with the actual slave woman named Eliza Grayson, right? And her husband name was Elisha Grayson. Both had Israelite nigga names, right? So, Elisha's dead, but she's going to basically tell you about Elisha, right? So here she goes. Elisha Grayson and I, or Elisha, that's how you would really say his name, but in the book they call him Elisha. So Elisha Grayson, and I, Mr. Montgomery's, it says Elisha Grayson and I were Mr. Montgomery's slaves before the war. Grayson told the interviewer, "We were married by Jerry Benjamin, who was a brother, sometime before the war. I cannot say when." So this just shows you that they weren't even given dates when they was married. They was just married. You understand what I'm saying? How about that for anniversary, right? Wasn't any of those. So it says now that Lemonkowitz is asking, who is Jerry Benjamin? Was he a preacher? Because remember what we spoke to y'all about, right? If you ever seen any of them slave movies, 12 Years a Slave, what's that other one?
Roots.
Yeah, all of them, right? Any of them that had a slave preacher in it, the slave pusher would be the only literate person on the plantation. He'd be the one that marries everybody. He'd be the one that talks to people for the slave master if it wasn't Big Mama and so on and so forth, right? So Jerry Benjamin was this brother on this plantation, right? So Lemonkowitz asked, was he a preacher? Lemonkowitz inquired, and then she says, he was no preacher, but being the head man on the plantation and a member of the church, he married me and Elisha, right? So the head man, when they say head man, they're not talking about a white man. He's not an overseer. He's this, head nigga in charge. You understand what I'm saying?
Samuel on Django.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right? So even though he wasn't the preacher, because he was the head nigga in charge and he was part of the church, they allowed him to be able to marry them, even though he had no credentials, right? So, yeah. And it says, whose permission did he get to marry? Could Jerry Benjamin read and write? So now the white man's trying to inquire, like, damn, so the damn slave master just let him do that? Really? Could he read and write? They had their master's permission. So this is like Eliza telling him that, he had permission from the slave master. She answered, and the head man was literate, meaning he could read too, right? Because as I said, he had to be able to read. That's how you know he wasn't a damn white boy, because the white folks were literate, right? This is the 1890s. So it says the Grayson's first son had died 3 months after birth, but a second son, Spencer, had survived. Now the guy's asking, how many children did you have before your marriage to Elisha Grayson? Who is their father? Right? So she's trying to now he's trying to ask who is the father to people, right? Now this is what's getting into Yahweh the Ashar's question, right? Now you about to kind of find out how that, what's it, Deuteronomy 28 and 30? Is that what I'm on? Yeah, somebody give me that right quick so we could bring that out for the brother. Yeah, so who's the father? You ain't got to get it yet. Wait till I finish this. So how many children did you have before your marriage to Elisha Grayson, and who was their father? It said, I had one by the master's son, right? I had one by the master's son, Frank Montgomery, Miss Grayson stated, without further comment, right? So she's ashamed that she had a child by the master's son. Don't even want to tell you what the child name was, and she ain't going to comment no more on it. That tells you it was a rape. It wasn't a willing child that she had with the master. It was a rape, right? But that's the master's son. Watch what happens to her when it comes to just brothers, right? After the birth of the child and before marriage, the interviewer continued, have you lived or cohabited with any man? She says, no, sir. She assured him, I never lived with any man after that until I took up Elisha Grayson. How long after your marriage to Elisha was Spencer born? And she says, I don't know. So she don't even know how old the kid was or how long the kid was born before Elisha, right? Or Elisha. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, straight up. That's messed up. They don't even know how old their kids is and stuff, right? So, says Miss Grayson replied, but we did not get him till after our marriage. So, give me let's get Deuteronomy 28, 30, and 32 right now. Go ahead and read that. Because what she's telling you straight up, right? She got raped, so another man slept with her, right? And she didn't get one of her kids until after the marriage, meaning she had the kids. She got married to the kid daddy, and sometime after her and the daddy was married is when she got to see her kid again, right? So you know them scriptures when they tell you about your longing for your kids, don't even know if you're gonna get them back. She just happened to get one of her kids back after she was married to her husband. Don't even know how long it was, don't even know how old he was, right? Go ahead and read that scripture for me, y'all.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof.
You see that? So you plant a house, you don't get to live in it. You know what I'm saying? Or you build a house, you don't get to live in it. You plant in vineyards, you don't get to eat from them, right? And of course, you got that wife, you don't even get to sleep with her because another man is riding her down. And the man is your slave master, so you can't even do nothing about it. Right? Woman's the same, she don't even want to comment on it. It's years later. She's still ashamed of it. Not even a slave no more. 1893 when this thing happened. Slavery ended in what? 65? Huh? So this is about 20 years after slavery, and she's still ashamed. And the kid was during slavery. You know what I'm saying? So it's long after. She's an old-ass lady at this time. Still don't want to talk about what happened with the slave master. So it was a whole different sentiment back then as opposed to what it is now, right? Now it's interracial relationships all up and down the place. Niggas will fight you over the white woman now. White women will fight you over the white man. I mean, black women will fight you over the white man. But this woman and a lot of other women just like her that were put in this situation weren't even, they were ashamed to speak about the kids that they had with these people because of the situation that they were in when they had the kids, right? So, reading on. Yeah, it says we didn't get him till after the marriage. And then she said, and then the guy said, hadn't she cohabited with Elijah Hall, a married man, before Elisha Grayson enlisted in the army? And then so he's trying to say, wait, weren't you cheating on Elisha? Weren't you cheating on Elisha with this nigga Elijah? Elijah Hall, huh? So now here's what she says. No, sir. Only several years after her husband left the plantation did she commence cohabiting with Elijah Hall. I was faithful wife as long as Elisha Grayson was at home. So saying as long as he was at the crib, she was faithful, but when he left, she wasn't, right? So, but this is the mindset that the sisters and the brothers had back then, right? Getting into what we was talking about with Yahweh the Ashar, right? So here it's a sister that has the mentality here, right? Usually it's the sisters that are less dogs than the men, right? Usually. So that being the case, if the sisters is thinking like this and she's ashamed to speak about the slave master, how you think the brothers was feeling in this certain situation, as opposed to why you think that they act the way they do now, right? Trauma gets passed down from generation to generation, right? The way you act and the things that you see gets passed down from generation to generation. If you always see this type of stuff happening, that's what you're going to act like when you grow up. That's what you're going to pass down to your kids from generation to generation, right? So now brothers don't got boundaries because they weren't taught boundaries from generation to generation. And it started around this generation, right?
Hey, Salaki.
Even before that. Go ahead.
That's a good point. And the brother JH1 asked a question. He asked, he was like, he said, genuine question. What sources do y'all consider reliable in proving the Willie Lynch letters existed? Now, before we go into that, right? Because that might be something that we need to go into. But this is how I know that the Willie Lynch letters existed. Everything that he said happened to a T. It happened to a T.
I don't care if they was real letters or not. Yeah. Because for me, it don't matter if they really existed. The fact is, the things that exist in the letters, supposedly, that was said in the letters, is actually what happened to our people. So
yeah, that actually happened.
Damn. Yeah, I could care less if it was actually written on paper. The fact of the matter is, what we have on paper now, what they called a Willie Lynch letter, actually happened to our people. So whoever this Willie Lynch nigga was, whatever letter he wrote or whatever speech he made, it actually got around to the plantations because the owners was doing exactly what he told them to do.
And it's funny because there was plantations all over the United States.
He was supposed to be in the Caribbean, right?
Right. They were in abroad. It was everywhere. Right? Now, watch this. It's funny how every one of those plantations had the same practices when they regarded their slaves. They all had the same practices. The divide and conquer, they all did it. So whether it was real or not, it's just funny how they all had the same practices, but they were everywhere. Every plantation had the same practices. So, like the brother Giannis just said, it doesn't matter because we still live the effects to this day. All right. So, we kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. We know that it's something that we think that Esau wrote, but regardless if that was actually written or not, we know that the mentality was there, whether it was put on paper or not.
Oh, all right. So I just wanted to bring that out. We got more from the book that we're gonna bring out, but I wanted to jump ahead just because we was talking about that. I felt like it was the perfect time to go ahead and bring that out, right? Just so everybody see that. Well, hell, I think it's a little bit more I could bring out on that. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, she said that she commenced cohabiting with Elijah Hall. I was faithful wife while Alicia Grayson was at home. In answer to the query about the other children, Eliza Grayson listed 4 with Hall's last name and the remaining 2. She explained, I have had to do with several men and cannot say who their fathers are, right? So even during this period, we have women who've been with so many niggas that they can't know who the damn daddy is, right? They just happen to interview one of them. So imagine how many other women was in this situation where they had a bunch of kids, didn't know who the daddies was. Therefore, those kids not going to grow up with no daddies, right? Because they already don't know who their daddies is. What you think going to happen with them? They going to grow up. They probably going to end up leaving their kids. Their kids end up growing up without a daddy. Now welfare has happened. Now you don't need a daddy in the household. So now the people that grow up like that, the kids that grow up, the men that grow up without their dad in their household before welfare, now they don't feel like they need to be in the household because they didn't have no pops in their crib anyway. So it's easy to leave. And the woman's kicking them out because now she's getting a check for them not being there. Right? Before it was struggle when they wasn't there. Now it's not struggle no more because they're getting a check. So now it's incentive to not have the man around. Right? That's what people didn't know. You're looking at it like it wasn't no incentive, but there was an incentive to it. Because it started here, right? They socially conditioned you, women and men, to destroy the household already from slavery. So by the time slavery was over, you're already putting yourself in situations where we had fatherless households, right? There's a passage in the book where some dude interviewed people, said that our families from 1725 to 1925, the majority of them had 2-parent households, which is fact, right? But the ones that didn't have 2-parent households, they were the ones that were struggling at the time. Once the tide switched after 1925, after the Great Depression, after Black Wall Street gets destroyed and all that type of stuff, the Civil Rights Movement starts. And after the Civil Rights Movement, they started getting men out the household. That whole period of time allowed for women to see what it was like to not have a man there, for men to see what it was like to not be around. And they start paying you to keep those roles, basically, right? And now we're in a situation now we're in now. So it's all social conditioning. That's what we have to think about, right? And that's something that you definitely can blame the white man for because he's the one that's conditioning you socially. All right? But that being said, brings me into the next little video that we're gonna play, or the little clip.
Hey, Salaki, I just wanted to show this right here. Brother mentioned this. A brother mentioned this in the comments, right? So this could be you can also, this is how you could believe that Willie Lynch letters can be real, because they wrote things like this. All right, in the first page you see the man who wrote this book. If y'all can see that. You see what I'm saying? So they've always shared ideas on how to control us. Say it again. Yeah, the book. Here's the book.
No. The guy who wrote it.
Salaki.
Yeah, there you go. Eat a mic.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead and look and eat the mic too, boy.
Right, crazy. So it shows you that they've always shared ideas on the social conditioning of our people, from the Willie Lynch letter to this, to the Slave Bible, how to make a Negro a Christian. All those different books is all ideologies on how to socially condition us as a people.
So Lakia, another place you can see social conditioning of the group of people known today as the Israelites, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, is in Psalms 83. It's playing upon tables as well, and then it gives you a list of almost every nation that's coming against you. Right? Mm-hmm. Can I read it? Can I read a piece of it in Psalms 83?
Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, this is Psalms chapter 83 and verse 3. Right? It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. The Israelites was known throughout the nations. When you read in Deuteronomy chapter 4 and 6, right? They were looking in our nation, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and saying, wow, this is a wise and understanding people. That's why do you think every nation was given Solomon materials to build the kingdom, the temple? Why do y'all think that? Because they were looking and marveling like, wow, this is a wise and understanding people, right? So now that's a wise and understanding people. They trying to figure out how we're gonna cut them off for being so mighty, and so they put things like this in place. And you see customs like what the other one just read in the book of women sleeping from man to man, trying to cut you off from being a nation as best as possible. Because it was part of our heritage that a man and a woman be together and that woman be joined to that man for the rest of her life. Right? And I yield on that.
All right. That's facts, Carter. All right. Speaking of liberals and conservatives, I got a liberal meathead for you, Miss Maxine Waters. Huh? Y'all heard of this lady before? Y'all know good old Maxine? Old ass Maxine?
Maxine Waters.
Y'all know Maxine. Maxine. All right. So Maxine, oh boy, Maxine. Maxine said some crazy stuff, boy. So, you know what? Why don't we just show it to y'all? Why am I trying to read it? It's a video. I'm tripping. So what Maxine did y'all hear about what happened with the slaves on the border? Slaves on the border. I'm tripping. Did y'all hear what happened with the Haitians that was getting whooped like slaves at the border?
No.
That's what I meant. Did y'all hear about that?
I did. Around
like September or something like that this year or last year? Huh? Let me see if I could. I think I got the video. Let me see. Maybe I don't got it. Oh, let me try to find this thing right quick. Goodness gracious. I thought I played it. Hold up.
Hey, Salaki, just to speak on that point. Hey, them Haitians that was in El Paso, man, it was around the Feast of Tabernacles, and what they were doing was making like types of tabernacles, man, and it was crazy. You seen they was putting palm, they was putting leaves together, making like tents and stuff, you know.
I did see that. That's cold.
I got it right here. All right, look. So Maxine Waters stupid behind, right? She went up there and was like outraged by the stuff that was happening to Levi, the lawyer, right? She was outraged by it and went out there to go make a whole speech about it, right? But the stuff she said at the end of the speech was what had me tripping, right? Shows you the social conditioning, right? Because she wanted you to be mad for a moment as a black person and be enraged at the images that you're about to see. But as she finishes her speech, she says something like this: I'm unhappy. I'm just unhappy with the cowboys who were running down Haitians and using their reins to whip them. I'm unhappy with the administration. She said she's not unhappy with the cowboys. I'm unhappy with the administration. Right? I'm not mad at the white folks that was whipping these niggas. I'm mad at the white folks that put these niggas in charge. Mind you, she's part of the Democratic caucus, the Black caucus. She the head woman in charge.
Black Caucasian.
It's a Democratic leader involved in 2021. So any administration that is getting blamed Guess who's a part of that administration? This stupid woman that's talking about the administration. So she basically says she's mad at herself, but she's not mad at the white man that's whooping the people because she damn voted. You know what I'm saying? She's in she's responsible for putting these people where they at. She was responsible for helping Biden get in the office, helping Kamala Harris get where she at. So I'm gonna let her speak. I'm gonna let y'all see what's going on with this. Just man.
Under the International Bridge in Del Rio in Texas.
Is it an echo?
You good.
All right.
A camp that's become home to thousands and which reveals yet another crisis at the border in America. They cross the Rio Grande River that forms the border between the US and Mexico, most of them Haitians, willing to take the chance that they will be processed and allowed in, willing to tolerate what's been described as a squalid existence here.
No hay suficiente comida para.
Oh, hold up. I don't think this is the video. This ain't what I was just. Hold up, y'all.
Hey, man, our people got to go through hell and high water.
All right. Let me fast forward.
Hell and high water, literally.
Here we go. All right.
Things are worse. It is these pictures of Border Patrol agents on horseback pushing migrants into the river that have caused so much anger. For some, they carry the echoes of the worst chapters of American history.
What we witnessed takes us back hundreds of years. What we witnessed was work.
So this old coon lady right here, right? She been in the Black Caucus since 1991 or 1993, something like that. So she been getting money for a long time with these crackers, right? On Juneteenth, she said that it's a great thing for her to see that the white man and all these people that she put in office made it a national holiday because it seems like, we finally moving forward. And then a couple months later, they whooping damn niggas at the border on horses, right? So she's supposed to come out and make this big old speech to show how outraged Black people should be. But listen to what she said at the very end of it.
Worse than what we witnessed in slavery.
First of all, this idiot said that just a couple crackers on horse pushing some Haitians into the water was worse than the crackers that was drowning the Haitians in the water in slavery, than the crackers that was, tying them to two horses and splitting their bodies in half, right? The crackers that was chopping their heads and their noses and their hands off and stuff like that for trying to escape, right? Kind of like these brothers was doing. You know what I'm saying? So she said that these couple crackers on these horses was worse than the atrocities we saw in slavery. That's the first cut I want you guys to see, because now they're downplaying what we saw in slavery, right? This is September 2021. You understand what I'm saying? It's like 6 months ago, all right?
With their reins again, whipping Black people, Haitians, into the water.
The US has already removed thousands from the camp, large numbers flown back to Haiti, a country many of them left after the earthquake a decade ago.
Oh, they're not going to show you everything she said. Oh, see, they did that on purpose because it was like, I got to read it for y'all. I got to let y'all see it. Oh, man, I thought they was going to let her make the whole speech. It's cool. We got the transcript. All right. Can everybody see that, or do I need to zoom in?
Zoom in.
That good enough for y'all? Can you see it now, damn it? All right. So, Maxine Waters. It says, Rep. Maxine Waters decried the treatment. I think that's supposed to be described. Described the treatment of the Haitian migrants arriving by thousands at the southern border, claiming what occurred was worse than what we witnessed in slavery. The California Democrats spoke at the press conference outside the U.S. Capitol Wednesday, held in response to photos claims that the surface week of the Border Patrol, blah, blah. All right, here we go. I want to read this. So, I'm pissed. This is what she actually said, not all that transcript crap. So, I'm pissed, said Waters. I'm unhappy And I'm not just unhappy with the cowboys who were running down Haitians and using their reins to whip them. I'm unhappy with the administration. We are following the Trump policy. He is the one that does not follow the Constitution and would not allow these seeking refuge to petition to get into the country. What the hell are we doing here? Right? I had to try to say it like that. So this is Maxine Waters, right? All the stuff that she said, instead of, a real black leader would have went up there. This is a woman who's been a leader of ours since 91, right? A real black leader who's got that much tenure shouldn't have a care in the world about what's going to happen in her position, right? Because she's been there since 91. She run California. She the most powerful nigga in California. You understand what I'm saying? That's like the most powerful Democratic state on the planet. She a Democrat in California. She got the oldest damn Congress seat. She the head of the Black Caucus woman. She the top woman in the Black Caucus. So it's like, she shouldn't have no problem going up there and telling them exactly how she feel. But all she said was, I'm unhappy. This is worse than what we saw in slavery. No, it wasn't. One. But you're unhappy with the administration. Couldn't even get on the white guys that was really snapping on the people? Because when you say you're unhappy with the administration, you blaming yourself for that, right? Idiot. But yeah, that's one guy. Let's get back on the forgiveness train. This is another member of the Black Caucus. He's from my state, Georgia. All right. Let's look what this nigga said. Sanford Bishop Jr. He from where my Kai used to be at, Columbus. Y'all see this Judge Joe Brown looking nigga right here?
Say he like Judge Joe Brown.
Yo.
Hey, now Judge Joe Brown ain't about forgiving nothing. That man he ain't on that type of time.
That's
he used to be on that type of time.
He ain't now.
Judge Joe Brown just found out we was Israelites. That's what it is.
Oh,
He came into the truth a little bit. Not all the way, but a little bit. This nigga, not so much. So this is Sanford Bishop, right? He's also been a Black Caucus member since 93, right? So he got 2 years less tenure than the black lady, right? He's like the third most powerful black dude on the whole caucus. So this is his remarks on Juneteenth, right? He says on Juneteenth, the black community celebrates the freedom, blah, 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 blah. Let me see what he says. All right, yeah. So he's just going on the Juneteenth holiday. He said, where did I get to Texas to Galveston until June 19th? This was 2 years of bondage that should not have been. I'm delighted that we now have recognition of that milestone in history. It was late, but it came and freedom was granted to the slaves in Galveston. I'm just delighted that the country has recognized it at the highest levels. And we have a national holiday which will be commemorated in a sad time in our history. And up to this point, I ain't really mad at what he said there. I don't rock with Juneteenth because I know it ain't no real, holy day or holiday, whatever they want to call it, right? But it's just something that the white man gave you to pacify yourself, right? So that you shut up in the midst of them, also telling people that slavery didn't exist. So in Texas, where this Juneteenth was supposed to be, commemorated originally, that was the first state to teach that the niggas weren't slaves that were just working for lower wages, but this is the first state, or the state mainly, where they commemorate the Juneteenth holiday from, right? So ain't that's a little hypocritical too, But anyway, so he goes on to say, we get to a point where we recognize mistakes our country has made and moving forward to rectify them to reach what more perfect union that we have been striving for since the founding of our republic. Now he sound like a damn cracker. Yeah, right. He's Umar Johnson right here, right? Where did I get to Galveston, Texas? It's a great time, and commemoration and sad time in history, right? And then he's Frederick Douglass W.B. Du Bois right here. First damn sentence is we need to, move forward and rectify. Anytime a nigga say that word, it's a wrap. Ain't no backbone. It's gone. They took it out. He's a leader. And if you go and do the research, any of these Black Caucus leaders, any leaders, period, that are Black, when it came to the Juneteenth holiday, whether they were boxers, whether they were rappers, because the Jamar Charlo, the Charlo twins, they had their little fight on Juneteenth, right? They made them do the same thing. They had a press conference where they went out there and, you know, had to love on the white man. Yeah, we should forgive him, and, you know, I'm for my people, but I'm glad they did the right thing by making it a holiday, and we should forgive it and rectify. Yeah. Whenever they use that R word, it's a wrap. I'm telling you.
It's just a pacifier. It's just like, all right, here, just shut up. Shut up.
But it's social conditioning. They gave you this holiday as a social condition, right? To allow brothers like Sanford and, you know, Waters, Clyburn, the head of the Black Caucus for the men, you know, those three in particular went out there and made big time statements, right? It's even it's a Black Caucus member that used to be in the Black Panther Party. I never heard of him before, but he even made a damn statement on the Juneteenth holiday, talking about commemorating and rectifying and stuff. He's a Black Panther. When did Black Panthers rectify anything with the white man? You know what I'm saying? But this is the stuff that they want you to think. This is socially how they want you to be conditioned, right? So that when the Israelites out there on the street, they're telling you how you're really supposed to think. Biblically, how the Most High wants you to think. How you're supposed to gather yourselves together and worry about your people and your people only and forget everybody else, right? Because there's going to come a time when all the other nations are going to go back onto their people too. That's in the scriptures, right? We just supposed to be doing it a little earlier than they are. We're supposed to get our stuff together right now, right?
Right.
I mean, it's going to happen for everybody. We just supposed to do it now, not wait till it's too late. So we telling everybody to get our stuff together right now, and they're trying to make sure that you don't get your stuff together.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
I have a precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. It says, "For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed."
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in this mindset that you have to rectify or forgive the so-called white man for what he's done, you're out of line with the scriptures. You dead serious, you out of line with the scripts. With how God said everything should go, you're out of line with it. Because in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7, it tells you what? Whatsoever a man reap. I mean, Salaki, it's the other way around. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap.
Mm-hmm.
So in the so-called white man's harvest, in the other nation's harvest is going to come soon. The harvest of destruction, right? They're going to reap all of that.
Hey, Salaki, I want to know what we were talking about earlier, how they can remember the Alamo, they can remember 9/11, they can you can remember anything. You know what I'm saying when it comes to
all the hopes,
you know what I'm saying?
Pearl Harbor, shit.
They gonna remember the dad from Full House every year to the year that he died.
Hey, right.
Every year every damn January, they're gonna Bob Saget from Full House. They're gonna remember that, right? But ain't it funny?
America's dad.
Right. But ain't it funny how you can reap what you sow? And if you tune in this SOT North Carolina's page, we got a video coming out where we ask this white lady this. But why you everybody gotta reap what they sow until it comes to y'all? Until it comes, we all been on the streets and have asked this question: what should happen as a result of slavery? Because Bin Laden was killed because of 9/11. Saddam Hussein was killed because of weapons of mass destruction. Right, everybody was killed. But when it comes to y'all, oh, well, you know, I think forgiveness. What was the forgiveness for everybody else? That's hypocrisy, man.
Facts.
Also, hypocritical people that's ever been on the earth, man.
Hey, so that brings me into the next segment, right? Before we get into the rest of this book. Last clip I want to play.
Not Whoopi.
Playing the black people, right? It ain't just gonna be Whoopi, right? It's Whoopi's got her friends on stage with her. You know what I'm saying? If you ever seen The View before, right? I hope no brother's ever seen The View before. But if you ever seen The View before, right? My mama used to love this shit, this show. It's like, so your mama probably love it too, right? But the thing is this show puts you in a situation, especially if you're a woman, an older woman, right? Middle-aged woman, whatever it might be. Even a man, if you like the type of man that like to watch this type of stuff. When you watch the things that, you know, this particular episode was talking about, if you're black, these specific episodes are also a type of social conditioning because they give you insight as to how the white folks think, which is supposed to make you feel sympathy for them. So when you go out there and you put on TV and stuff like that, and it shows them how you think, right? They put you on Love, Hip Hop, and you know the all them different shows they got, the damn tattoo shows and stuff, right? Where they're trying to show you how ghetto the black people could be, right? The black, Hispanic, and Native American woman could be, right? How hood we can be, how unprofessional we can be. And then they got certain shows where they're showing us we could be family and all that type of stuff, right? So they're putting our lives out there, but all those different TV shows aren't really giving the white folks any sympathy for us, right? No matter how much stuff they put out there socially for us to put information into the minds of their people, for them to feel sympathy for us, it never works, right? But all they gotta do is put Whoopi up there with the redhead Jewish girl and the blonde head, you know, white woman, and let them talk about, you know, how white folks feel about black people. And that's supposed to make black people feel a certain type of way about, oh, well, if that's how they feel, we should forgive them for that, you know. Yeah, they're just like us. They just feeling privileged. What? You mean because the white guy up in Ohio that is, you know, not doing good right now because the factory not doing good, and he a two-time loser in his own kingdom, we supposed to be blamed for that? No. But go ahead,
No, just like you were saying earlier, that the type of audience that this is going to our women, right? And they're gonna have sympathy and they may have mercy for the so-called white woman. If that's on who's on here, who's gonna give her a sob story and try to warm up the heart and try to get to your soft side, right? And then you know the so-called black woman that may be in a single parent household because of the effects of the Willie Lynch letter or the effects of social conditioning, right? It's gonna teach her sons to now have sympathy for the so-called white man.
I knew you was going to get there. That's why I just let you see.
You know, they may have sympathy. And you know what? Now you got Jerome, 6'5", that's going to let a so-called white man talk down to him at the workplace, right? And now he's 6'5".
And the white man's 5'6",
right? And he's
got 3
6'5".
strands of hair on his head, and he got a broken pair of glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Only got one button on his 2-button collar shirt. Straight bumite.
Hey, getting on him. But hey, we can even put this in a real situation. Like George Floyd was a big guy. Derek Chauvin couldn't take George Floyd on one-on-one, right? But then people are going to expect you to forgive Derek Chauvin, right? and Derek Chauvin still ain't admitted that thing. He's not admitted to killing George Floyd. He still haven't.
We ain't worried about that, cracker.
But hey, we not worried about him. But that's how they try to seep into our families. You know, they kind of go through the woman, so the woman can teach the sons and the daughters, so that.
And even if it's not a single parent household, if the man in the house, because you know, most men in this society, if they not bruised, they think with the happy wife, happy life mentality, right? So if you got the the nationalist type of mentality, and you for your people, but your wife is telling you, hey, you know, you racist, right? That's gonna make you pipe down a little bit. When you see Cindy and your wife, you know, having a little book study together or whatever the hell they do these days, right? They having a play date with the kids or something like that. You ain't gonna feel so bad about having that white lady at your house now. Next thing you know, her husband get to come over. Now you drinking beer with him, watching football games and stuff, right?
Oh man. That's all.
Now your nationalist mentality is gone. It's all because you watched this episode when Whoopi Goldberg talking about white people being discriminated about. Like, so let's hear what she says.
55% of them say they believe there is discrimination against white people in America.
55% of them crackers, huh? That's over half of them feel like they discriminated against. Ain't that something?
But when asked for specific examples, they couldn't quite say what they thought it was. So,
and it's the junk I don't like about Whoopi, because she make it seem like she's real, like, you know, she don't get where they be coming from with the stuff. But when she let the white women talk, she let the white women talk. So I'm gonna let y'all.
what do you think white people are worried about in terms of being discriminated against? I'm very confused.
You see this face she made? They got Sonny Liston or whatever her damn name is. That what her name is? Sonny Liston? What's her name? She's Sonny something. Sunny Sidewalks.
This is a baseball player from the 1900s.
Her name's Sunny something. Sunny or Sunday or something.
This dude's about to say Sunday best.
Sunny days, Sunday best, sunny sidewalks. I don't know what it is. It's Sunny something, right? But she a coon too. So, but they both have this, like, when it's the two white women on stage, they do this thing where they make it seem like they black, and then when a white woman start talking, they agree with them. Watch.
It is a boxer. It's a boxer. You're right.
Sonny Liston's
that was a baseball player.
My bad, Sonny. My bad, Ock.
White girls. I'm just wilding down. We happen to have three, so I thought maybe y'all would have.
And then you see, so like the two black girls is on stage. I'm confused. Why y'all feel discriminated? And then watch, they're not gonna be confused no more in a minute.
Some insight. Well, you know, ever since Lincoln freed all those white people. Oh no, sorry.
This is a Jewish woman, right? So she's got that Bill Maher type of comedy. This is Joy Myers, right? She's got that Bill Maher type of slapstick type comedy to her, right? She's gonna make it seem as if she's you know, all the way pro-black, and then when the stuff start coming out of her mouth, she's actually gonna be telling you exactly how it is they feel about certain things, trying to give you insight on them to make you sympathetic for it. So it's all like a play that they got going on here, right? But when you're watching the show, you don't get it, right? So social conditioning.
I think that they're blaming the fact that maybe they don't have a good income or their life is not treated.
So now she's going to give you facts as to why they think like that, right? Even though she started it off with a joke to make it seem like it's all BS, right? Oh, yeah, because even though Lincoln freed all those white people, I mean, but now she's going to give you damn facts to support the white man's reasoning to why he's discriminated against, right?
them well. They're blaming it on discrimination, but it might be about something else. It might be, you know, you haven't had opportunities to go to college, or you're.
White people didn't have opportunities to go to college? Didn't they make the damn colleges? Didn't they have slavery and stuff like that and prevent us from going to the schools just so y'all could get into them? Y'all still got the right to go to school. But if you decide to get high off opioids, though, you know what I'm saying, and shoot up on heroin and stuff like that in the back of your car in the snow, then, I mean, that might mess up your chances of getting into school. But that ain't got nothing to do with the black man. That's your doing, cracker, right? I'm just saying.
Stuck in a rut, or you're working in coal mining where the jobs are going out the window. And so it's easy, I guess, for people to blame something that they can look at or something like that. You know?
And that is supposed to make you, you know, just that little bit right there. That little sentence she made right there already got some of the women in the room. Oh, man. I feel, that's what they're going through? Goodness, I never thought of it like that. Right? They're already starting that in their brain now.
But it's basically...
We're only a minute and 10 seconds in. The other white girl ain't even spoke yet. She's a blonde. You know they're going to like what she say more. Right? This is Velma speaking. Right? Wait till Daphne starts. They like Daphne. Right? Y'all seen Scooby-Doo? Y'all remember?
Being a victim, and victimhood is not helpful.
See, Velma, Daphne? Yeah.
Victimhood only is I'm blaming somebody else for my problem. But this particular thing has nothing to do with being white. When you walk... So now she's trying to give you facts to make it seem like it has nothing to do with being white after she just made you sympathetic to the situation, right? So now she's going to try to get back on the black person's side. But before it's over, she's going to flip-flop like Mitt Romney one more time, right? One more thing. When you walk into a bank, you will get a loan more easily if you are a white guy. Yeah. So, and by the way, the entire Congress, practically 100% of it is white. They are running the country. Yeah. The corporations are run by white men. television is run by white guys.
That's something I want to ask.
So
do
where's
you think
the
that there is?
discrimination? I don't know.
Well, my question is, do you think if you break it between men and women, that white women would say the same thing? I think I think white women could tell you how they were discriminated against.
As women, maybe.
As women.
Now we're gonna make it a feminist situation, right? Which is gonna bring me to my next topic, but we're gonna let this finish.
I mean, So I'm wondering if that changes the equation at all.
I think there is one group of people, and we were talking about this in the meeting, and it's more socioeconomic than race. But
Here's Daphne. You know, Daphne gonna take it right to him, right? Gonna let you feel how the white man feel, right? And then she gonna, you know, just like Derek said, she's the one that's gonna warm up your heart, right? Velma's gonna give you the facts and stuff like that and bring it back to the black, but Daphne's gonna be the damsel in distress and make you feel like you gotta save the hoe, right?
there is a group of people that are many white, unemployed people that I think they're tired of being told they have privilege when they're like, I can't feed my family, I can't do anything, which is just a distinction in poverty versus people with money. But the other time is I was trying to really dig deep and play the let me walk in the shoes of these statistics. Have I ever been discriminated against? One time I do feel it, and this is not in comparison to slavery or anything vast, but in my own life, one time the times I do discover it are when I try to chime in intellectually on like a movement, like let's say Black Lives Matter. And I'm saying in this instance, I think the messaging or the strategy of this is not the right move. If I just disagree on the slightest bit or chime in, people are like, you don't understand, you're white, and they excuse you intellectually, even though anyone that's white talking about those things can disclaim, I have never walked in these shoes, but I do have a brain and I'm an ally. I want to talk about it.
You're more disagreed with and your opinions now don't count. It's not quite the same as discrimination.
Well, discrimination is just an unjust treatment based on a difference in race, age, sex. In that situation I'm describing, I am being discriminated. And I'm not saying that I feel the pain every day of this. I'm just saying I find it frustrating when I'm trying to join a conversation as an ally, and I can't critique anything because I'm white.
But I think Chris Rock said it best.
All right. So.
Salaki.
and before you go, my mom wanted me to. Her name's Sunny Hosting.
Sunny side up.
Yeah. And the white girl is Italian, not Jewish. She's married to a Jewish man. All right. Go ahead.
Somebody give me Ezra 4, please. Somebody give me Ezra 4.
Oh. Just
on that dumb Edomite point. We don't believe in Black Lives Matter, number one. Let's just make that clear. Right? Let's just make that clear. We don't agree with them by any means, right? We don't agree with none of that mess if it's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and coming back to your nationality and joining your people. Zephaniah 2:1. We don't agree with none of that stuff. But we have people coming and trying to tell us that, it's not inclusive. Maybe we should get more inclusive and blah, 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 blah. We don't give a damn deal about anything that has anything to do with us and what we put together, right? We don't care. You're not an ally to us in any way, shape, or form. But read that.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel and the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you.
Salakia, let me help you with your verbiage on your movement. Let me tell you how your people need to come together and do something for yourselves. Let me give you a suggestion. Let me build with you. Let me help you get out of your situation that our people put y'all into. Go ahead.
For we seek your God, as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Asarhaddon, king of Ashur, and brought up us hither.
Salakia. Now, this showing you there ain't nothing new under the sun, right? They're always trying to get in on what we got going on.
Come on.
They're asking, let me build with you.
Right?
Let me help. I'm an ally. I can't wait till y'all see in the description, subscribe to the channel, man. All right? Because I'm one of the good ones.
All right.
Let me help. Right, go ahead.
God, verse 3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them.
Hold on, so the men stood up, all of them stood up and were like, and they said what?
It says, ye have nothing to do with us to build the house unto our God.
You leave us alone, bro.
Facts.
We're trying to build this spiritual house. Leave us alone.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? She's talking about Black Lives Matter. Go ahead. Y'all infiltrated that from the day that started. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But every time black people are trying to do something amongst themselves, y'all want to help. Where was y'all niggas, Salakia? Where was y'all when we was on the slave ship?
No, they wasn't going to help on the slave ships because the help they give now is a certain specific type of help, right? Give me Isaiah chapter 30 right quick. Isaiah 30 and 1.
Finish that precept. Finish that
precept.
Yeah,
go ahead, finish that precept and then get Isaiah 30 because it led me back to exactly off what you're reading.
Started back from 3.
Kind. Ezra 4 and 3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our God.
Mm-hmm.
But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord our God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, had commanded us.
Read the next verse.
Verse 4. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them.
Read it again.
God, it says, then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building.
See, these people, every time they try to come with us, help us, cleave on us, they want to tell us how they can help our cause. They weaken our hand every time.
That's a fact.
COINTELPRO, every time. Keep going.
Verse 5, and hired counselors against them to frustrate the purpose all the days of King Cyrus, of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia.
This is what these people do, bro. They try to get you. They try to be cool with you, get in with you good, right? And either you let them in or you don't. But either way, they got that crafty counsel and they have a backup plan. So I'm gonna get up in there and I'm gonna help. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna help. And once they let us in, COINTELPRO. But if they don't, we gonna hire people to consult against them. That's Psalms 83 right there.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Adawan.
Get that precept. Isaiah 30.
God. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1.
Let me get these crackers off the stick.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. And
right. Our people don't take counsel of the Most High. They take counsel of the oppressors, right? They trust in oppression. We're going to get that shit. Give me, what's that? That's Isaiah 32. Yeah, just keep reading. Keep reading.
That take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but
give
not
me Psalm 62 and 10, I think. Of
my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right? So a lot of our people are adding sin to sin by not taking counsel from the Most High, right? They taking counsel from the oppressors, which is making them do certain things to their people, which, is adding sin to sin, right? Go ahead. Keep going.
That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Now we in spiritual Egypt, right? So Pharaoh here is Joe Biden, right? They trying to strengthen themselves in democratic morals and philosophy, right? That's what they doing. They walk down to America and try to strengthen themselves in the philosophies of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? And they're teaching our people to feel whatever way that those two people want us to feel due to social conditioning.
Hey, Salak.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Therefore, shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust.
So the strength of Pharaoh shall be your shame, right? Go ahead.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
So whatever they do, they trusting in oppression, they trusting in the shadow of that white man, that he's always going to be there to protect him if they give the agenda and spread the agendas that they want, that the white folks want spread. That's going to be their downfall, man. Keep going.
Oh, Salak, I muted my Salak. For his princes were as Zoan, Ozoan and his ambassadors came to
Go to the next verse. Go to verse 7.
For the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose.
So that goes into what the brother was just talking about, right? These Egyptians here, picture them as the Americans, right? Everything that they do, they're going to help in vain. It's not really to help your people. Everything that they put out there, everything that they try to do to join behind you, like Antifa or damn Black Lives Matter, right? Whatever it is that they're going to do to try to make it seem like it's a movement for you, the civil rights movement, it's always got an agenda behind it that has something to do with them, right? It's never to help you. Their help is in vain. Keep going.
For the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose. Therefore,
and to no purpose, man. It's not going to help you. Go ahead.
Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still.
Right? Their strength is to sit still, bro. Their strength is not to actually help you. Their strength is to act like they're helping and to watch you destroy yourself by trying to do everything that they want you to do, right? Which is exactly why we was going to go to Lamentations 4:17 next. Hey. Your brother Azariah got that. What you had, Judah, before I put that out?
I want to get a quick precept. Let me back off the precept you just read. Isaiah 36:6, it says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, right? So, like the brother was just bringing out, we in spiritual Egypt, and the presidents and the leadership of this country is the pharaohs of this land. We're going to be pierced by trying to lean on these people like they're going to hold us up, like they're the pillars of our community. We can't do that, man. We got to lean on our own pillars of our own community, which is the brothers that's on the corner and the elders that's teaching out here on these streets. And these words is in this book, man.
Hey, speaking of books, this is the first chapter, very first paragraph that I'm going to read right here. This is a paragraph from W.E.B. de Koon himself, right? So it says, first thing that they want you to think about when you read this book is talking about the structural transformation of the Black African-American family, right? The Israelite family. Fuck the African. So it says, I shall forgive the white South. That's the first thing he said. I shall forgive the white South much in its final judgment day. Right? I shall forgive its slavery, for slavery is a world-old habit. That thing been going on for a long time. We ain't worried about that no more. Right? That's the Akon stuff, right? What Akon say? You got to get past it. You know, you can't move forward with that weight on your back. Right? Can't do it. So, it says, for slavery is a world-old habit. I shall forgive its fighting for a well-lost cause, and for remembering that struggle was tender tears, right? He gonna remember all the things that his ancestors went through, but he gonna forgive him for it. Even though he struggled with tender tears. I shall forgive it so-called pride of race, that white supremacy, he gonna forgive that. Damn. But one thing I shall never forgive, but it's, okay, he might got a little backbone to him. Let's see what he said. Neither in this world or the world to come. So all right, he's saying this ain't even gonna make it past judgment day. So this nigga did know something about, something, right? But he gonna forgive him for something too. Let's see what it is. It's wanton and continued and persistent insulting of Black womanhood. Huh?
The woman God, W. Du Bois, he started it.
Which is sought and seeks to prostitute to its lust. Right? So this nigga is the reason why, y'all love the Black woman so much. You want Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States and all that stuff, right? You elected Barack and his husband Michelle and all that stuff, right? So it's like I'm just playing. Yeah, but it's things like this though, right? W.E.B. Du Bois is straight up telling you, I could care less about everything that happened to the brothers and sisters in slavery. No, I could care less about things happening to brothers in slavery, but them sisters,
right.
Yeah, no, I can't forgive that. Big Mama got it bad. She slept with that white man and got some pearls. They made her sleep with them other dudes and Elijah Hall. Can't forgive that. I ain't worried about Elisha, who was out there fighting in the Union War, while his wife out there sleeping with other brothers, having babies and stuff. Don't even know who the daddy is, right? But she mad. He's mad that the woman got prostituted out though. Would the
That
woman
remind
be
me of the lesson
prostituted
from
out if
Friday.
the husband, right? Would the woman be prostituted out though if the man wasn't put in a position to where he couldn't defend it? You know, the woman was literally put over the man, right? Where she didn't need any defense in the plantation. Her defense was the slave master. She didn't want defense from her husband.
Hey, because her husband, the image of the male structure was destroyed in her mind. So she not looking at him for protection. That nigga can't protect me. Master will have him done in a heartbeat. So I'm gonna go to Master for protection.
Yeah, that's why, you know, the whole welfare thing worked out so well, because it was the same thing. Master's giving you money. I could look for Master for protection. What I need the man in the household for? Master gonna come check it out anyway. Police station right down the street. We'll be straight. Right?
So I have a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, "Set him not by thee." So when she saw us on the stage and she's saying, "I'm mad I can't give an input in a black woman's or black people's so-called blacks conversation," she feels like that's discrimination. No, we not setting you by us, because that's what the scriptures say, right? Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Never let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith, Salakia. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Right? You're gonna remember, hey, when y'all decide, you know what, I am gonna trust in the so-called white man. Y'all gotta remember y'all elders Sirach's words, right? Well, he told you never to trust your enemy, because he's always gonna seek to throw you off and cut you off from the people, right? Because he was part of that crafty council, right?
That's right.
Salakia. It's crazy how she can be so appalled that black folks don't want her in our affairs. Like, Muhammad Ali said something, right? He said, "Trust me." He said, "Trust me."
You talking about Daphne? You talking about Daphne?
Khan, how she can't believe that. I
don't know her name, so I'm gonna just call it Daphne.
Hey, Muhammad Ali said something. He said, "Trust." It's like you having you on the other side of a door, and when you open the door, there's 100 snakes. 50 of them may be venomous. The other 50 of them may not be. Am I supposed to pick through the snakes to see which one is a venomous snake? No, y'all all snakes. I'm closing the door.
Thanks.
That's like, so did y'all trust a damn what's some people from Iraq called? Did you trust a Muslim or an Arab on the damn plane after 9/11? On September 12th, was y'all niggas comfortable with them being on the plane?
No.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't be comfortable getting on a plane.
Hey, Salakia, they was like that meme with that little boy in McDonald's looking up,
right,
with the damn cup in his hand.
I used to do that. Every time I seen one of them when I was little, I used to, damn, is he gonna blow this place up?
Hey, bro, anything with a turban on September 12th, was you like
social conditioning, boy?
Was you asking them?
You think?
Are you a good Muslim or are you a bad Muslim? You was like,
I'm dead ass, right? You see the dude sitting with the turban, he's sitting down too long at the doctor's office or something. He got a briefcase in his hand. You don't know what it is? Everybody leave all the spaces. Everybody leave every seat near him open. Everybody sat somewhere else.
Right.
Because nobody know if he a terrorist or not. It's social conditioning. They all socially conditioned everybody to think that when you see these damn Arabs like this, right? After 9/11, after they done blew this place up, right? You see any of these niggas with that damn thing on their head, that's what you need to think. A little walk by right there. Boom.
Hey,
right?
Hey, I am too busy. I know September 11. I'm saying was white folks on September 11. We know what happened. On September 12th, was
You
they
say on September 12th, it was already public
comfortable?
service announcement. You see anybody with a turban, step away 50 feet.
But as soon as we got free from slavery, I guess we were supposed to trust that they had our best interests at heart.
No, that is what happened. You see the damn woman taking interviews from Lemonkowitz or whatever the nigga name was, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to read this last passage. This is called The Emergence of the Sambo Thesis. Right? Y'all know what the Sambo coon is, right? So this says Kenneth Stamp and Stanley Elkins, some names that if you did any research in African American studies, you know the two names, have more recently produced two major histories of slavery that are consistent with the analysis of Du Bois and Fraser, but emphasize that demonstralizing aspects of slavery with little attention to the strengths reported by Du Bois and Fraser. Like Du Bois and Fraser, Stamp moved away from emphasizing that slaves' African heritage when he described the social disorganization created by the institution of slavery. So what he means is he thinks that there were certain things from our African heritage that were stripped from us in slavery, which is a fact. But it was African heritage. We know it was Israelite heritage, right? So he goes on to read, in Africa, the Negroes had been accustomed to strictly regulated family and regularly enforced moral code, right? Which is why up until like 10 years ago, it was still a thing to not be a homosexual because our moral code spanned that far, right? It wasn't until they made it a social construct to be socially acceptable through social conditioning to be a homosexual that our people started accepting it. But before that, we still had our moral code, even though they say we lost it, right? So it says, but in America, the disintegration of their social organization, aka us being removed from our heritage, as it says in Jeremiah 17:4, right? That removed the traditional sanctions which had encouraged them to respect their old customs, right? So, right quick, give me Jeremiah 6:16, right? Because this is something Jeremiah literally asked us to do. He told us to come back to the old customs, right? These crackers right here just told us why it's so hard for our people to do that, why it's so easy for us to accept what the white man's giving us. Because through social conditioning, they've taken away our customs, our moral code, right? Any type of mentality that we had to think for ourselves, for our people, by ourselves, right? Autonomously, they took all that away from us. Now we have to be dependent on the white man. We want to be dependent on the white man. It's called infantilization. We'll look that word up in a minute. Go ahead. Read that.
Salakia, Makkah's Sirach 12:12.
I want Jeremiah 6.
Now I know he asked what precept Captain DeRock was reading.
I
got that. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls.
So that's something that we would have done, right? When we had our moral code, we would have kept asking for the old path when we seen things going wrong for it. They knew that would be something that we did. Even in slavery, we did it. We had all them slave hymns and stuff that we sung, proving our people were trying to get back to the old path, right? But they stripped that from us. They made sure they took that history from us. They made sure they took that heritage from us, made it so we couldn't sing those songs no more, took away the oral traditions. Now we have no traditions, right? Now the whole moral code is done. Every single sanction we had that kept us aligned with that moral code is gone. So now you only have the morals that the white man give you. That's the only moral code you have to live by. He don't have a moral code. He invented pederasty, pedophilia, anything with a peda in the fucking run. He invented it, right? So there's no moral code. None, right? So it says the slaves had lost their native culture, which was the Israelite culture, without being able to find a workable substitute, therefore lived in a kind of cultural chaos. Ain't that the facts? A lot of our people still live in a cultural chaos. Everybody that ain't woke up into the truth yet, they're in a cultural chaos right now. The ones that don't want to find out who they are and don't really care, they living like the white man. They living in the world, living however they want them to live, right? The ones that do want to know who they are, that have this notion to find out what they come from and where they come from, if they ain't coming to the truth, they living in a spiritual, social, mental chaos because everything that they found is false. They still trying to piece it together. Got to make themselves believe something that's not real, right? So it's a cultural chaos. That's what our people live in all day long. And the white man knows this. It's a white man that wrote it. That wasn't Du Bois that wrote this. This is Elkins. Right? Went on to say, with destruction of the family life and the rigid moral code that prevailed in Africa, which would be the moral code that we brought from Israel, because we know that Africans don't have a moral code either, right? They invented homosexuality. They're the ones that taught it to the damn Greeks, right? So, no moral code in Africa. The consequences were an air of impermanence, right, in the typical slave family. So, basically, we were permanently in a situation where we had no culture, right? Nothing that we had that we were able to bring from Africa, as they said, which was really Israel, as we know. The customs we had in Africa were the customs we brought from Israel. Those are the customs we lost. We weren't doing things as Africans, per se. It was the people that were trying to get back in contact with the Africans that went back to Africa to find things that Africans were doing. You know what I'm saying? The Malachi Z. Yorks and the Ben Yakanans of the world, right? Them people. So, but moving on. It says this empirical status was further exacerbated by the custom employed by a great majority of slaveholders who, according to Stamp, gave preference to business over sentiment and broke up families when under financial pressure. So this further got our family structure further got destroyed. Our moral code further got destroyed when our families were broke up, right? As we saw at the beginning of the chapter when we were talking about Eliza Gracie. So it's these type of things that put us in the situation that we're in now, which eventually would lead to the Sambo Kun, because they're going to get to telling you how these would eventually lead to the situations that would cause for infantilization, right? So let me just skip to that part. It says slave parents in Stamp's view regarded their children with indifference. Sexual promiscuity was widespread, right? As we know, because we were just talking about that due to the brother's first question, right? Yahweh. So it says widespread. He argued further that the slave would be assured of his master's affection only if he conformed to the rules of conduct that governed his relations with his master and carefully observed the fine line between friskiness and insubordination, between cuteness and insolence, right? I don't know why a dude would need to be cute to a male. Anyway, that just show you how Esau, man, goodness gracious. A slave had to adopt a pose of fawning dependent, right? So you had to seem defendant, but couldn't really be defendant. You had to seem like you was frisky enough to get frisky with the folks on the plantation, but you was never going to do that to master, right? Had to be willing to do something strange for some change for master, but you wouldn't do it to the damn slaves on the plantation, right? That's the cuteness and the friskiness. The insubordination versus, what they said? Insubordination versus friskiness. Yeah, cuteness and insolence, right? But they went on to say a relationship that robbed slaves of their self-confidence, this promoted infantilization, right? Which is where we are now. Now we got a bunch of damn grown-ass infants, right? Bunch of people that feel like they need to be taken care of by the government, some people need to be taken care of, period. That's because of the infantilization that they've given us through social construction, right? Social conditioning. It's a social construction too. It's a social construct, right? That they basically built to make us be dependent on them in certain aspects. Anything that puts you in a situation where you have to be autonomous, which being an Israelite would make you, it puts you in an autonomous mind state. Because we have a scripture that tells us to gather ourselves together, O nation I desire, right? That means we're not supposed to have anything to do with these other nations. Unless, I guess, for like monetary purposes, so we can help our nation thrive. But other than that, because the Bible does say we could use the other nations. But other than that, we ain't supposed to have nothing to do with them. So that being the case, that automatically takes us away from what this is talking about, because that's the opposite of infantilization. Infants need to be taken care of, right? Adults don't. That's this construct that they've given us, right? There's different type of infants in our society. During the welfare time period, it was the man that was the infant, right? He was going through infantilization. They gave the woman a check. Men wasn't getting jobs, stuff like that too much. They had the brothers coming back from the Vietnam War, wasn't getting treated too well and stuff like that, right? They'd have been a situation where, okay, now, woman got the check. I'm going to just sit on the couch and chill. Infantilization. You grow up seeing your pops like that, and mom and dad lived a good life. Dad ain't work too hard. I ain't got to do that either. I'll give me a girl that got a good job, and I'll chill out. Be a house dad. She don't like that. She end up making you leave. Now you can't be the house dad. You say, well, damn, I'm just going to leave. Screw all y'all. Right? Infantilization. So, and then there's the gold digger woman, right? She's the opposite. She's that in a woman's body. So, infantilization. It's the same thing. It's the only thing under the sun. But that's the condition that they put us in. And if both of our parents are leaning on those sides of the spectrum, how are they going to raise the family? If they do raise the family, how well you think that family is going to be raised?
Hey, it's gonna be exactly what Willie Lynch wrote up. You know what I mean? It's gonna be exactly how they planned it to be, unstable and unbalanced.
Somebody got that Psalm 62? That's facts.
What was the verse?
Psalm 62, verse 10.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 62 and verse 10. Trust not in oppression.
Do what?
Trust not in oppression.
That's what they say we're not supposed to do, right? We're not supposed to trust in oppression. But our people have been doing that for too long, right? Every leader you have is telling you to forget, right? Yeah. We might as well show this one. Just in closing, before we close it up, right? Before we end it, can't leave without the pastors didn't say something to y'all, right? Because, infantilization, right? We got good old BB Winans.
Nah, BB.
Soul of a Nation. On tonight's show, I'm BB Winans. Welcome to Soul.
I'm BB Tight Pants. BB Winans.
Of a Nation. On tonight's show, we're digging into a topic very dear to my heart, faith. Most Black Americans say they identify with a religion, but tonight it doesn't matter what religion you are or if you're religious at all. This show's for you.
It don't matter if you're religious or not religious at all. You can forgive the white man. So this show is for you.
Way deep into the waters of faith, looking at the power and challenges of the new Black church. Nick Cannon is on a journey, and we're going to take you to the kitchen.
Anytime Nick Cannon's involved, it's a problem. When they got this little skinny head nigga Rizzy Islam involved, it's a problem.
A whole bunch of big words.
There's Sonny listing. Sonny hosting. Damn, I did it again. Sonny hosting.
Will feed your soul. Plus, Anthony.
Realize how all the coons we didn't spoke about are now coming together in this one video? Ain't that amazing?
No, man, not Charlie.
Hamilton.
No, that's Anthony, bro. Don't do that. That's Anthony Hamilton. That's good old coon ass Anthony Hamilton, the cowboy.
I thought it was Charlie, boy.
Nah, Uncle Charlie ain't he ain't a coon. He just like white women.
We should have known it, man, with him and that. We should have known.
Hey, chill out.
Here with some musical inspiration. But first, Black folks have often used religious teachings to turn the other cheek and forgive grave injustices.
Oh, now y'all see what this is about, right? BB Tight Pants is trying to teach you to turn the other cheek and forgive great injustices.
Pause. So why is beard gray his mustache black?
I don't know, brother.
We've seen extraordinary act of virtue.
He want to be wise, so he dyed the beard white. You know,
he's gonna leave the mustache black.
Yeah.
And grace after horrific brutality, whether it was a massacre at the Black church or a killing by the police. ABC's David Scott asked why.
So look, the white man is trying to ask, why are you niggas so easy to forgive us like this? And the black man is talking about Black Americans have forever used their religious attitude to turn the other cheek and forgive racial atrocities. He sounds like an Englishman, boy. Goodness gracious. But the white man is asking, why are y'all forgiving us? So, look.
That again. I will never close my eye again to pray.
I don't know why she said that.
Because of that church massacre that happened down there.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, they doing one of them. A whole bunch of raka style happening.
Yeah. See, that's stupid. You ain't gotta just see. You see the coon attitude about people. Instead of saying, I could close my eyes in the church if I just don't let none of you crackers in no more. She said, I'm just never gonna close my eyes when I pray. Lord help me.
I ain't gonna hold you. Yo. My mother tried to say, all white people ain't like that. I'm like, man, please. When Dylan Root would have went into that church, they said, bow his last prayer, I would have been like this.
Brother,
ain't no way. You would have got my ass.
She said, I ain't gonna close my eyes to pray again. I ain't gonna close my eyes to pray again.
What year was that?
Instead of saying, I'm just not gonna go to church with you white people no more.
He walked in there acting like he wanted to be a part of the prayer service. Hold on, time. The dude, it was like 2013, 14.
All you had to do was ask him, hey, you want to be a part of the prayer service? Sing Wade in the Water. You can't be a part of the prayer service if you don't know that song.
Now tell me why you had a bold haircut in 2013. He would have got kicked straight out. I already knew he was up to no good.
I mean, him being white in a black church should have meant he was up to no good. But they wasn't thinking like that. Right? If you black and you walk into the KKK church, ain't they going to look at you a certain type of way? Think they going to let you be part of the prayer service? Or everybody going to take their guns out right then and there in the church?
Or you finished. You SpongeBob.
Salakia.
They going to be doing the nooses like this, getting them ready for you. Right? But y'all let the dude in the church, he kill y'all. And instead of saying, I'm just not going to go to church with you crackers no more, I'm just not going to close my eyes when I pray.
Yo, the brother James said that church is in the hood too.
So Salakia, you, if you walk into a Moabite temple where they worshiping Buddha and them got incense all over the place, they gonna look at you funny, and they not gonna let their eyes off you. You think they only do that in the damn stores? You think they only hurry up and buy you in the damn gas station? No, they gonna watch you and make sure you're not up to no good. But our people are so damn forgiving all the damn time. And a white boy coming to church and they say, "Oh, baby, come here," and Big Mama bring her in her chest and hug him and smother him and say, "Yeah, you sit right next to me," and she get popped first. Come on, man. Because y'all so trusting and y'all do not take the person for what they showed you already. He's been showed you he can't be trusted through generations, decades, and decades.
No, but all white people ain't the same, baby. You gotta look at them different sometimes.
Shit.
Get shot.
If you blame them all, we ain't never gonna get nowhere. Y'all making it bad for the rest of us. Ain't that what they say?
Look, everybody. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
It ain't even finished. Just wait.
Oh man, is that so?
Yeah, because the African got to sing, right? Sang it, African.
It was a crime so heinous, the president rushed to Charleston.
He don't even look like a brother. He look like an Ethiopian. You see, when you stand next to brothers, he don't even look like a brother. He look like he look like Nipsey Hussle can. I see it now. You see, when it's a gang full of brothers behind him and sisters, he don't even look like us. I don't know how we got fooled.
And look at the pastor behind him. Look at the pastor behind him. Look at them. They just happy as hell, looking stupid. Them robes on, looking stupid.
Look like King Tut.
With the big sleeves, looking stupid.
Go Jesus peace.
South Carolina to lead the morning.
Man,
he shot at them as they prayed, trying to protect other people.
Is that even a white man? What is that?
I don't know. He was great.
Brian, humble little brother is home. I don't know what that is.
Watch my son looking for my Aunt Susie. When he reached
Susie must be the one that gave it a hug first.
Susie, he grabbed a handful of her hair.
Oh, see? Susie was the closest one. He went for the old lady first.
She the one who gave him the mints out her bag.
You see that?
He held her hair in his hand. He looked like he was so relieved.
Police captured Roof the next day. And then, at his bond hearing, from some survivors, a remarkable display of clemency.
A day later, at the bond hearing, 24 hours, people. Y'all thought that the Botham John thing was bad. He had some days to think about that. This was 24 hours later.
After he had his Burger King.
Huh?
After he had his Burger King. Remember, they took him to Burger King before they took him to jail.
No. They took him to Burger King the day before, like the day it happened. So right after he killed the people, he got his last meal at Burger King. This is the next day they gonna forgive him.
Hurts to ones who say this is my son, but to ones who was my hero, may God have mercy on you.
The lady's asking God to have mercy on the cracker that killed her son in front of her. And her auntie. It's the same lady that you just seen holding up the picture of her auntie that got her hair grabbed and held by this cracker after he killed her. He was just holding the old lady's wig in his hand. That's what she's talking about. And afterwards, he looked relieved, like, damn, the job is done. I done killed you niggas. While he's holding the old lady's wig in his hand. She seen him hold her auntie's wig in his hand after he blew her head off. And the next day, she said, may God have mercy on you. Okay. And they played it on the news, not to say, yo, this is crazy. What's wrong with these people for forgiving this man? They played it on the news to say, this is an amazing act of faith. Look at these black people, so forgiving, so willing to turn the other cheek.
This is an example for the rest of you niggas.
Yeah. When we do something to y'all, this is how y'all need to act. The white boy over here is like, yo, all right, this white man done did it for us. And the black dude over here is like, he don't even want to look at the white guy because he afraid he might kill the dude. And now he's looking through the screen because he's like, I know I didn't hear this woman just say, I know this lady ain't just forgive this boy.
Y'all niggas so stupid. That's what he thinking.
Salaki.
It's a peculiar.
Good.
It has to be a mental. Wait, y'all can't see that, hear that, and be like, wow, that's wow, and start clapping and giving praise to the Most High. You can't. That's a mental disorder. You have to, you know that church is thinking of white Christ in their mind and saying this is the same people as Christ. So I gotta forgive them because they so indoctrinated and destroyed. Hey, this curses of Deuteronomy tell you that what? He's gonna put a yoke of iron in your neck until you are destroyed. And we liken that to a yoke of mind on a yoke of bondage on your mind, a yoke of iron on your mind spiritually. And that's what our people had. Stockholm syndrome, to where a teenage boy could come in, shoot your people, shoot your son, hold your granny hair in his hand, and then you can forgive him the next day. And say, oh, I'm praying for him. Oh, man, Lord, have mercy on this baby. Oh, the Bible said, whatsoever a man reap, that's what he got to sow. You kill it with the sword, guess what, nigga? You gonna be killed with the sword.
They wasn't taught that, bro. They was taught turn the other cheek, like DD Tight Pants was telling them.
And it's disgusting.
It's
disgusting, man.
I think I can speak for everybody. I think I can speak for everybody on this panel. You do that to one of our family members, you gotta go. Sorry.
Speaking of which, right? Me being a man with a Levite mama, This is Botham John, if y'all ain't recognize him, right? The brother that was killed by Geiger. The white woman that walked in the house that smelled like weed, that was a police officer that she didn't know smelled like weed, that was on a whole nother level than hers, that had a mat on the floor that didn't look nothing like hers. It was a TV game on and a black guy eating ice cream in his drawers and a t-shirt, but she didn't realize it wasn't her apartment. So she killed the nigga. Yeah. This is what his brother did.
Death of Botham Jean inside his own apartment by off-duty Dallas police officer Amber Geiger. Jean's 18-year-old brother stunned a Texas courtroom and the country.
Nigga couldn't even do his tie properly, but he went on stage and did this.
He publicly forgave her.
I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you.
Did you know what you would say when you stood up?
Boy, look at the white man's face. The white man looking at him like, yo, what the hell wrong with you, bro? Did you know that was even gonna come out your mouth when you said
that? He got paid for that because ain't no other courtroom.
And what he say? He said, no, I didn't. No,
bro, ain't no other courtroom with any type of race relations, like hate crime, murder type joint.
Nigga said,
the
can I
judge
give her a
allowing
hug?
you to hug somebody? That was set up, bro.
Watch. He gonna get into it. He don't even know why he said it. That's how you know he was paid. But why was he paid to do that? Social conditioning, right? And why did they already know it was going to be something that worked? Because they saw it just recently before that with the people at the church. The church happened before Botham Jean. When they seen people at the church forgive him, we could forgive him for this too, right? Yo. If it would have been possible, I guarantee you they would have made Breonna Taylor's husband forgive the police officers if he didn't get thrown in jail, right? They would have found a way to make him forgive him. If George Floyd family wasn't in a sticky situation and that coon nigga Stephen Jackson wasn't trying to do some stuff on alongside that case, they would have made him forgive him. They did make Stephen Jackson forgive him on behalf of the family. He did so. He ain't even a family member. He's a nigga that looked like him and was cool with him at some point. So, but they made the closest to kin go ahead and give the apology, right, and the forgiveness for it. He's supposed to be a Muslim, Nation of Islam type dude, Stephen Jackson, right? But now it's this guy on behalf of his brother forgiving the lady, giving her a hug, and a couple years later, a year later, whatever it is, after the fact, he don't even know why it happened. I can't tell you why I said that. I don't know.
Did not know at all.
I do not know at all. I do not know at all.
Lying.
I just felt disgusted and like it was just.
And then he said, I felt disgusted, and it was just like a.
When I looked at her, rage.
You looked at her, felt rage, but you said, I forgive you. Let me give her a hug. Nah, nigga, that don't make sense. You see, that was social conditioning. That's really what he felt. He was crying up there because he felt mad that he had to forgive the lady, give her a hug. But he ain't got a check for it.
Facts.
Now he's telling you the truth. I felt rage. Just, I wanted to flip this. I wanted to flip the damn switch on her at. I can't tell you why I said that. Of course, he can't tell you I got paid to say it. They paid me to go up there and apologize for everybody so that y'all would turn the other cheek. Right?
Yeah. But you see this
it's clear now because he don't even know why, right? Normally, if a person did it on their own free will, they'd be able to tell you, oh, I did it just because, I believe that in forgiveness and, both of them, it would have been what both of them wanted. He could have said some stupid shit like that. It would have been with both of them. He didn't say that. Both of them was a good Christian. He would have wanted me to forgive her. No, he didn't say that. He said, I don't know. It was just rage. Rage made you give the white lady a hug? Nah, the check made you do that.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
So, yeah.
That's how you pay for that jacket.
Charles Finn.
You said what?
So that's how you pay for that jacket, man.
Yeah, bro.
You see this jacket? I had to hug for this.
Yeah. We could go on, but I ain't going to continue that one because, I don't want no copyright strike. But, yeah. That's what happened there, right? So you see, we got the black woman at the church forgiving the white boy. We got Botham Jean brother forgiving the white girl. Don't even know why he did it. Can't tell you why.
We forgot one part. My pops just texted me. She not only did he hug her and forgive her, the judge hugged her and was rubbing her hair. Nope. The judge hugged her, gave her a Bible.
The bailiff rubbed her hair.
And the bailiff was rubbing her hair. How many Bibles did the judge
the
give
bailiff gave her a whole back massage and let her read the Bible? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many Bibles did the judge give to black people when she was sentencing some black people?
Never.
How lenient on the sentences was she?
Never happened. I never seen a judge give a black person the Bible ever.
I never seen a judge give a black person nothing.
I don't think it's ever been recorded in history.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
They'll make us swear on the Bible, but they won't give it to us. Right? So, man, give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Right?
You said Ecclesiastes 7:7?
Yeah, just to speak on both of them, right? Because his little brother said that he was, now he's trying to tell us when he seen it, it was rage. He was pissed off. Well, rage would have made you say something pissed off, right? But that gift, that gift you got destroyed your heart. It made you say, I forgive you. Go ahead.
He had to remember his lines, yo.
I forgive you.
Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
Mm-hmm.
And a gift, a paycheck, destroys the heart.
Gift destroys your mind, right? It's desperately wicked, and it be destroyed as soon as that gift comes to it. Because it takes away your backbone, takes away your moral compass, right? That same moral compass that the white man told us in that book that we read that we don't have no more because of America and the things that have happened to us since then, right? Same thing. This shows you that book is telling the truth because you see his brother gets killed by a cop in his own brother's apartment, and he forgives her on stage. And a year later, when he's asked about why he forgave her, he can't even say why.
All right. Ain't no way, bro.
What is that?
I don't know.
What language is that?
It's not. It's a link to a. It's a link to a. Like an account. A website that put viruses. I just looked it up. It's a link that put. Yeah, they were hoping somebody's gonna copy and paste.
All right, yeah. So give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. You ready?
Yeah, we ready.
All right, Con. Give me Baruch 4:1. We can close it out. Y'all get the point. Just stop being coons, bro. Stop trusting in oppression and worry about your people, man. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. That's the only way the saints gonna take the kingdom. It's the only way possible. You can't take the kingdom while fraternizing with the oppressors. You can't take the kingdom sympathizing with the oppressors. You can't do it. Trying to find a common ground to make this perfect union, the perfect union it was supposed to be, like them coons were saying before. It's never gonna be a perfect union. A nation divided against itself can't stand, and we've been divided since it started. So what perfect union you think is ever gonna happen? I'm never gonna be in a perfect union with a dude that hung my great grandparents. You understand what I'm saying? Never. Nah, can't do it. Go ahead, read that scripture. I'm done. I ain't got nothing else to say.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever.
Mm-hmm.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
So look, keeping it is more than just keeping the law, statutes, commandments. It has to do with the people too. Taking back your moral code, man, your moral compass, knowing what to do with your people, for your people, that's part of coming back to the law, statutes, commandments. Being about your people is part of coming back to the law, statutes, commandments. This is our constitution and our moral code here. It's our heritage. You retake your heritage doing this. It's not your heritage to be cool with damn Esau, bro. It's our heritage to go against him, literally. So you're going against the grain. Every time you try to, get in cool with these people, it's not going to work. It's not. Whether you like it, understand it, believe it, or not. Go ahead, Doc.
Khan. And the law that endure forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
All right. And as long as you guys stay away from it, man, as Jeremiah 6:16 said, right? Come back to the old path. And at the end he said, but they would not hear it, right? They wouldn't listen. Niggas ain't trying to hear what they need to hear to actually get into the better position. We get into a better position together. We don't get into the better position with the help of the other nations. That's not how this works. That's what y'all got to understand. And as long as you not looking to the Most High for counsel, like I said in Isaiah 30, but you looking to your oppressor, you're trusting in Egypt, trusting in oppression, right? Then that gift is going to destroy your heart. But if you guys get mad and come back to your law, statutes, commandments, man, you're going to come to life. And the saints will finally be able to take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever. All right? What's up?
Hey, I had something after you finish.
I'm done.
All right, Con. Hey, look, man, wonderful class. Definitely enjoyed it myself. Subscribe to all our channels. All right, hit us up on Patreon. Okay. Also, SOT North Carolina is going to start having a Thursday night class. All right, so be on the lookout for that. We're going to start doing sit-down classes and lessons. You know what I'm saying? Dropping other things on the channel. So make sure y'all subscribe, man. Hey, RSVP for the new moons, man. RSVP for the new moons. All right, that's all I got, man. Stop being a coon. Stop that.
Yeah, make sure y'all get in there for them new moves, man. Next Monday, all right? Come to camp. All right. So with that being said, y'all be easy. Get ready for the class tomorrow. Truth Tuesdays, 8:30. Right? Y'all be on the lookout for that. Until next time, we are the Sons of Thunder Israelites. It is our heart's prayer and desire that all Israel might be saved, but none of the coons though. We don't really do that. I ain't worried about y'all no more. I'm serious. So with that, we are the Sons of Thunder Israelites. Shalom.
Shalom.